The Archdiocese of Oklahoma City is building a shrine dedicated to Blessed Stanley Rother, an American priest who gave his life serving his parish and God in Guatemala. The shrine will be 6,000 square feet and will serve as a visible reminder of the church's presence in Oklahoma. It is modeled after Blessed Stanley's church in Guatemala, and there will also be a museum dedicated to sharing his life and mission. Blessed Stanley Rother died in Guatemala back in 1981. And joining us now is Leif Arvidson, Executive Director of the Blessed Stanley Rother Shrine. Leif, welcome. So great to see you. First off, for those who may not be that familiar, can you briefly tell us a little bit more about Blessed Stanley Rother and how he remains relevant today?
Sure. Blessed Stanley was a farm boy from Okarche, Oklahoma, just about a half hour outside of Oklahoma City. After growing up on the farm, he felt the call to the priesthood. He went to seminary in Texas, where he studied greatly with his he struggled greatly with Latin studies and ended up being told that he didn't have the intellectual capacity to continue his seminary studies. So he went back home, but really felt the call to the priesthood. So he ended up going to a different seminary with the blessings of his bishop, Mount St. Mary's out east. He became a priest, and after 5 years serving as a priest, he went as a missionary to Guatemala, where he developed a great love for the people there. And interestingly enough, he was able to master the Mayan dialect of the people who he was serving, the Tutzujil dialect. He ended up being able to offer masses in Tutzujil and help to translate the New Testament into Tutzujil. His people were heavily persecuted there, and the government came down heavily against the Catholic Church in the 70s and into the 80s. And in 1981, various catechists and priests had been being captured and tortured and murdered just for standing up for the Catholic faith and Catholic teachings. And he was put on a hit list, and eventually they came for him, and he gave his life as a martyr for the faith.
Wow, such an incredible story. I want to talk about the shrine now. Can you give us some details about that? You know, how much it cost, how much you were able to raise, and also when it's set to be finished by?
Sure. Well, the Shrine Church itself will be an enormous church. It will be the largest Catholic church in the state of Oklahoma. It will seat almost 2,000 people. And on the shrine grounds, well, in the church, first of all, we'll have a chapel where Blessed Stanley's body will be laid to rest. We'll also have, outside of the church, we'll have a pilgrim center with a museum where the story of Blessed Stanley's life and missionary work is told, and the story of his martyrdom, and then the fruits of his martyrdom, and all the vocations and flourishing of the church in the area where he was martyred. We'll also have an area, we have a lot of Hispanics in that area of Oklahoma City, so we have built a version of Tepeyac Hill, which is the hill in Mexico City where Our Lady of Guadalupe appeared to St. Juan Diego, and we hope to do some fundraising to be able to put a statue of Our Lady of Guadalupe at the top of the hill in St. Juan Diego. But the church itself cost about $22 million, and then some additional funding was needed for the rest of the shrine, and we still need to do some fundraising to complete the project. But for perspective, I think AT&T Stadium, where the Dallas Cowboys play just a few hours south of here, cost over $1 billion. So you could build about 50 of these shrine churches for that cost.
Wow. And before we wrap things up here, Leif, can you give us sort of a quick update on Blessed Stanley's path to sainthood?
Sure. Because of his martyrdom, once it was confirmed that he died for the faith and for the church and for his people, then Pope Francis was able to declare him a blessed. And he was beatified just very recently, just almost 4 years ago to the day, on September 23rd of 2017. And in order for his canonization process to move forward now, a miracle needs to be received by someone. So I encourage our viewers to pray for Blessed Stanley's intercession. And if a miracle is received with no medical reasons why it should have occurred, then Blessed Stanley can be declared a saint.
Well, Leif, thank you so much for your time today and sharing all this with us. We appreciate it. Leif Arvidson, Executive Director of the Blessed Stanley Rother Shrine. Thank you again.
Great. Thank you.